Yu-Gi-Oh is one of the most expensive trading card games to get into. With meta decks reaching a cost of over $1,000, I decided to give myself the ultimate deck building challenge. Here's the catch. Starting off with 3 structure decks, I only get a budget of $15 a week, $10 towards upgrading the deck to make it the most competitive deck possible, and $5 for locals. However, I am allowed to buy and sell singles I've accumulated from this series, which includes all packs and cards I get through locals and events, can be sold to make this the best deck possible. The goal: topping the next Remoto extravaganza and to inspire new and budget players that even with limited resources you can still compete at a high level. Welcome to Balling on a Budget. Hey, what's up guys? So, today I'm going to be showing you guys the structure decks, right? And what we can do if we start off with just 3 structure decks from Shaddoll Showdown. I decided to pick the structure deck because I believe that Shaddoll's has the most room from a structure deck perspective to help you get better at the game. First, because there's a lot of intricate, there's a lot of intricate things that can happen when you play this deck. A lot of interactions that are really important to know. It's a really good meta contender. Like, I think it's viable enough to compete in the meta game with what's running around. So there's also that component. But it's also like a really fun deck, and it's a very budget friendly deck that you can upgrade with to make it meta relevant if you're on like a small allowance to play Yu-Gi-Oh. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up the 3 structure decks, and then what we're gonna try to do from there is build a deck and get that ready for the Remoto locals. So we start off with a budget of $30 first of all for the 3 structure decks, and then $5 for a pack of Dragon Shield white matte is what I prefer. And then every week going forward will be $15 a week to upgrade the deck. $5 is going to be dedicated towards playing in Remoto locals, and the other $10 is going to be dedicated to upgrading the deck with singles. So instead of taking a sealed route, what I'm trying to do is, I guess, document the process of what it's like, or what it could be like, or maybe like have a path written out or a guide for people who are newer to the game and want to play the game at a competitive level, but also like being on a budget, right? So instead of buying sealed product, which is definitely an option, like, I mean, these Shaddoll Showdown is an example of a sealed product, right? Like, this is what came in the sealed structure deck. I'm going to be buying singles because it's going to be the most effective use of my dollar right now, because there's a lot of like cards that like are not easy to find, and buying like 1 or 2 products just to get 1 card is like going to be a waste of money, especially if I'm trying to like build the most optimal deck with the least amount of money or least amount of resources available to me. So we're going to start off and crack open the structure deck and see what we get. So, well, actually, we already would know what we would get from this, right? Because it's all pretty much predetermined. But I'm just going to open one and just go through card by card. So for the fusion, we have Grista, Apcalone. This card only came in the structure deck. Apcalone is absolutely insane. Shaddoll Construct. And we'll have other fusion spells or fusion monsters in the rest of the deck, right? So we got the Winda, the Sheshinaga, and then there should be 2 more. Yeah, Wendigo and Anatolis. So that's what we have. And then for the link, we have Shaddoll Construct the link. Funny enough, at like, I think YCS Vegas 3v3, a lot of people didn't write the proper name of L Shaddoll Construct, so they were forced to play the link monster, I think. That was actually a pretty funny experience that I heard. So the stuff that came in the structure deck is we got Qual Shaddoll Chaos, we got Red Shaddoll or Re-Shaddoll Wendy, the Nail Shaddoll Ariel, the Red Shaddoll Incarnation, Shaddoll Fusion, Hardened Soul of the deck for sure, Falco, Hog, Squamata, Dragon, Beast, Hound, Zephyr Naga, Zephyr Core, the BLS, which is insane. We got Lava Golem, Dad, Dark Arm Dragon. Imagine being a player or a returning player from 2005 or 2008 or 2010, right? Like, imagine being able to get both Dad and BLS in the structure deck. That's crazy to me. So we got Sleeper, Fairy Tale Sleeper, definitely not a Snow. We got Trick Clown, Arma, Fearless, Turtle, Mathman. We got Bandit, Cerberus, the field spell for Shaddolls that not a lot of people know exists. This is actually a really cool card. It actually, when it gains enough counters on it, you can actually use your opponent's monsters for Shaddoll fusion, which is pretty dope. El Shaddoll, Nep Shaddoll. This is an equip stuff for the archetype. It's really neat because you can change. It can equip only to Shaddoll monsters, and it changes to any attribute, and then you can activate it, which is Ignition or Spell Speed 1, to fusion summon. So it's like another fusion spell, low key. We got Super Poly, which is crazy. Instant Fusion, which is that one. Allure of Darkness, Foolish, Fossil. We got Avarice, Twin. For the traps, we got Core, Shadow Games, Perushida, Aeon, Lost Wind, Unending Nightmare, Necrofusion, and Subterror Secession. And of course, we got a Duel Links card. So, if you guys played Duel Links, I've tried it. It's pretty interesting. Don't know if I would try it again. But, so that's pretty much what we have for the 3 structure decks. And we're going to try to build a deck from it. So, let me crack the rest of these, and then we'll get right into the deck building component. Alright guys, and now I have the deck profile for you all. So, we'll get started with the main deck and then the side deck and explain like my card choices. So it's gonna be a 40 card main. For our starters, we play triple Mathematician. It's really nice being able to send any level 4 or lower monster. It also, if it gets destroyed by battle, you can actually draw an extra card. So that effect is actually somewhat relevant sometimes, so that's really nice. It's an earth monster if you somehow need to make Sheshinaga. And it can basically get access to any Shaddoll card. So this card is really nice. And then we play 2 Curry Bandits. So just 5 normal summons in the deck. Curry Bandit is a lot slower, but the format is relatively slow right now. The reason why you play 3 and 2 is because Curry Bandit is worse going second. So I decided to play 3 Math Man and then 2 the Bandit. And then Bandit resolving is like really, really good. It can go up to like +5. So these were the 5 normal summons that I decided to play for the deck. What it does is it mills 5 and then adds a spell or trap to hand, but it triggers all your Shaddoll monsters. So that's really dope. Then we play 3 Wendy. It's one of the best ones, so we max out on it. 3 of the Squamata. Wendy gets you any name access. Squamata dumps you any name, which is nice. 2 of the Aerial. The DD Crow effect is really relevant right now, especially because we are in a format where the graveyard is really important. 2 Shaddoll Beasts, drawing cards. 2 Hedgehog, adding you any monster, adding you a spell or trap. The cool thing about the Shaddoll Beast too is I forgot to mention that you can tribute over your own Link monsters because we don't have access to Gravity Controller yet. Sometimes you need Beast to tribute set your own Shaddoll fusion monsters to add back a fusion spell or a trap. So we'll play the 1 Chaos because it's a light monster and it also helps you out Dragoon. 1 Falco and then 1 Dragon. So that's pretty much it for the Shaddoll monster main monster count. Then we have some alternate win condition, which is 3 Dark Arm Dragon. You can fill your graveyard and manipulate your graveyard with like Rush Shaddoll, either to bring back a monster so that you have 1 less dark, or to banish a dark monster to flip cards up, which gets you like it manipulates your graveyard so that you can summon this card, which is really nice and it's a really good win condition. You have Fearless, which is the card you can send off Mathematician and summon itself, pop a card, then mill 3. Theoretically, I don't know, this was just like a flex spot, so I just decided to play like another light monster. So that's it for the main monster count. It should be 24 monsters in the main deck. For the spells, we got 3 Shaddoll Fusion, right? Which card is absolutely insane. 3 of the L Shaddoll Fusion. 3 of the Super Poly because it helps you out Dragoon. And there's a lot of light monsters in the format, so this card is actually really strong. And then 1 Foolish Burial, consistency piece. Then we have 2 Rush Shaddoll. Like I said, it's really good at manipulating your graveyard. You can use it to book, flip cards if you play the Shaddoll Mirror. This card is really nice in the mirror too because you can banish it to book your own extra deck monsters, so that when they activate Shaddoll Fusion, it won't resolve the effect to summon send monsters from your deck when you chain this to like book your own monsters. So there's a really cool technical play you can do with this deck. And so the goal of this deck too is like hopefully through the gameplay and the remote duels, you guys will learn how to play this deck as optimally, or as and all the plays that are available to you, so that you can beat some of the meta decks, right? And when you play a deck on a budget, or you're playing a deck that's considered a rogue, you need to have like very good technical play because you're basically playing from quote unquote behind, right? So 3 Shadow Game because it gets you any Shaddoll name, and it can flip up any of your Shaddoll monster. And then last but not least, the Shaddoll Core, because there's situations where you activate Shaddoll Fusion, it gets negated by Boral Savage or something, and you can normal Mathematician, send Squamata send Core asks you back Shaddoll Fusion, activate it again. So this card has really good utility. With the Curry Bandit, if you mill Core and any other like fusion spell in the graveyard, or you mill too many traps, Core will actually trigger to add you back Rush. So that can also be kind of nice. So Core is like really nice, especially because we don't have Gravity Controller. We kind of need to play Core to like add back our fusion spells. So that's it for the main monster count. 40 cards. For the extra deck, we have 3 Shaddoll Constructs, 3 Winda, 3 Apcolone. So you max out on all like the best ones because these all came in the structure deck, and then for the random names for super poly targets, you play 1 water, 1 wind, 1 earth, 1 fire, and then 2 of the link monster. This card is actually really good because in this variant you are gonna have a lot of flip monsters, so being able to make Shaddoll Construct and then fusion summon without fusion spells is really key. And this card is basically a pseudo Gravity Controller because in the graveyard you can use its effect to send like an extra deck monster like construct to the graveyard to add back a fusion spell from your graveyard, and then it has a really good recursion. So this card is really nice for that. So it's 15 card extra deck, 40 card main, and then for the side deck we play Triple Unending Nightmare. It's really good against Elec. It's really good against just random things. Like let's say if you're playing against the Alistair deck, you can pop Meltdown. Against Elec deck, you can keep popping their Conquistadors, their Haqueros, so it's pretty good. 3 Lost Win as utility cards against combo decks. 3 Lava Golem to out insane boards. 3 Twin Twister for back row, and then 3 Pot of Avarice for grindy decks, where Avarice is gonna be really good in. And that's pretty much it for the side deck. So I'm gonna be taking you guys through some of the remote duels with this deck, and we're gonna see how it does in a tournament setting. So I'll see you guys there. Welcome guys to round 1 of the locals. This is gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna be playing against someone who's piloting Ditrons. You see that he opens up pretty much just full combo, right? Which is essentially he had Ben 10 in his hand with Alpha. So he's just going for the standard line. He's playing the Vanity Ruler variant. So his goal is to aim to end on a Ruler plus some sort of Mirage Light. But you'll find out pretty soon that he's also playing the Ultimateness package. So he's gonna end on Ruler and Ultimateness. So that's pretty much unbeatable. I think the structure deck, right, the $30 cards isn't enough. You'll see me right here kind of scramble, just thinking there's any line where I can somehow win this. I saw that his hand was kind of short. He didn't have that many cards in his hand, so I went normal summon Mathematician. He had Ash Blossom, I think. And then when I tried to go crash my Mathematician into the Vanity Ruler to draw an extra card, he also Ultimateness negated that. So I mean, it was pretty much a loss. I knew I couldn't win. So you see me scoop right here. Didn't really want to waste any time. Just was kind of curious to see how he would negate, what kind of cards he was negating, all that good stuff. So we go into game 2. And it's gonna be a lot different. I'm gonna be going first here. And if I remember correctly, I don't think I opened up the craziest hand. But what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna go Foolish Burial. I'm going to dump a Shaddoll Beast to draw a card. And then I go Curry Bandit set. And thank God I revealed a Shaddoll Fusion or El Shaddoll, because I can still, within my end phase, use El Shaddoll Fusion. And then I hit 2 names. So I hit as you can see there, a Wendy. And so I'm going to basically use El Shaddoll and then make a Winda during the end phase, which will allow me to essentially stop him. And then we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to pretty much pass here with the Winda. And he's going to evenly match me. I keep the Winda, and he has no outs for the Winda, as you'll see. So that'll buy me an extra turn, which is enough for me to come back and swing the momentum back. I'm going to go normal summon Wendy. I attack his monster and I attack him for 22. I set a card and then I pass. He's going to go prep. The prep doesn't really matter because as long as he doesn't out the window, it just doesn't matter. I have another El Shaddoll set, so even if he somehow's imperm this window, I can El Shaddoll into another one, and it's going to be really problematic for him to play regardless. So Window's really carrying me out here in 2020 or 2021. As you can see here, I draw another Curry Bandit. I hit a lot of crazy cards, and I get 3 Chain Links off. I draw a card. I set a card. I mill any card I want. Aerial, banish his graveyard. So just keeping up the pressure and just going Winda attack, and a lot of advantage being gained here. So overall, look, my prospects for game 2 are looking really good. So you're just basically seeing me put the pressure up. He Harpy's Feather Dusts me, I chain El Shaddoll, and you see me make pretty much Construct here. Because I want to use Ariel to continue to banish his graveyard, make sure that he has no resources. He had in Natasha before from prep, so I just want to continuously banish his Ben 10s. He tries to normal Ruler, but I remind him that it requires 2 Tribute Summons, and so I pretty much win game 2 there. So being able to take a game off of Diatron is pretty cool. Now I'm going to be playing game 3, and you'll see that it's going to be a lot rougher for me. I try to side as many cards as I can, but I don't really have an out if he summons Ruler. My only out is if he only summons Ruler and no negate, and I set a Squamata instead of Sinister Shadow Game, flip the Shadow Game, and then show the Squamata and then pop his monster. You see here, he starts off with a normal summon to get the Ben 10, which means he won't be able to summon the ruler. But unfortunately, my hand was not like good enough to play through his board, and his recursion and follow play is a lot better. So I actually drew 2 lava golems, which isn't good enough, unfortunately. And my Shaddoll fusion that you'll see pretty soon is gonna get Ash. And I mean, we'll see that the reason he bricked or like didn't on the most optimal board is because I mean he's playing cards like Ash Blossom and all this other stuff. So you'll see right here that I'm gonna get Ash pretty soon on my Shaddoll fusion. Which is Ash. I've like set and pass because I can't normal or set the turn I lava golemed. It's gonna take 1,000 points of burn damage from the lava golem, and then from here on out, it's gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah, he's gonna just pretty much go off and then kill me. Or not kill me, but like he's gonna basically do some stuff, try to end on ruler and ultimateness again. I activate Lost Wind so that his monsters both go at 1,000, so it forces him to use both ultimateness to send it to the graveyard. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Not really much I can do. Tribute, summon ruler. Yep, pass. I have no outs. Set a monster, pass. No more orange light, and he's basically gonna attack, and then it's gonna be game. But we'll move on to game 2. Alright, guys, now we're at round 2, and we're gonna be playing against Dino. So my opponent essentially elects to go first. He activates Lost World. And he's gonna be basically doing like regular Dino stuff, right? But he didn't open that optimal. He goes miss, and then he misses for a Animadorn. He Animadorns pops a Giant Rex, and then he's gonna have to go activate. I think he kind of misplayed here, but he went like Foolish Burial and then dumped a Ash Blossom just so that he can have his Pill Live. So he's gonna pass on Karibo and UCT. I thought when because he activated Extravagance, I thought that like he banished his Karibo. But it turns out that he just forgot that he had Karibo. He probably thought he banished all of it, so there was no point to like use the Foolish there. But anyways, I have a token on my side of the field. I activate El Shaddoll. I have Fearless, so I'm gonna summon Construct. Send 2 cards. I send Core and I sell Shaddoll Fusion. Core add back to Fusion, then activate Shaddoll Fusion because he has Karibo. So just gaining a lot of advantage. You'll see me here put double Construct up, send more cards to the graveyard, and I'm going to try to go for an OTK. I'm going to go Wendy, and then Wendy's going to set. He actually did not UCT me at all during this, and I used my player priority to super poly his UCT, summon all those cards, summon another construct. So the third construct, normal summon a Wendy, attack his Karibo, and then attack all 3 constructs into him for game. So game 1 was pretty decisive there. Being able to El Shaddoll, Shaddoll Fusion, and Super Poly gets 3 constructs out, attack into the Karibo, send Dragon, pop his field spell. So nothing was reduced by 500, and that's, 20 times 3 is 8,400, guys. So that's pretty much game. We're going to go into the siding phase. And he's gonna, obviously elect to go first now. I think his game plan here would be to put up Dweller, because I know they play the rank 4 package. But I think he's actually gonna brick here. He's gonna extrav, draw 2 cards. But yo, the first time, man, I finally see it from my eyes. Dino's bricked. He's gonna set 2 and pass here, or set 1. And I'm gonna go normal summon Mathematician. Instead of sending anything crazy, I'm going to actually send Wendy and use Wendy's effect to set. And I'm going to pretty much set the Hedgehog. I'm going to attack with the Mathman. But that's only after I go to battle phase. Then use El Shaddoll, summon another Construct. Construct effect, Chaos's effect, Squamata's effect. And yes, it's going to be pretty good here. I'm in a very favorable position now because of this. I could send Reshadol. I said send Core. Core add back the L. So I'll attack with Mathematician and Construct, which are at 27 and 1400 because of the buff from Chaos, and then the mine is from the Lost World. He's going to summon UCT with Pill, and then he summons Penkatops. That's pretty scary, but it actually won't matter as much. So what he's going to do is he's going to go UCT, attack Mathematician. I'm going to take the damage and draw a card because the Mathematician is an effect. He's going to go Pank. He's gonna go try to declare attack with Pank onto the set, and then I'm gonna activate El Shaddoll Fusion, make another construct, and then do it to like pop his field spell, just so that he can't attack the token, and then save it with Lost World. And then after I'm gonna flip Shaddoll Beast, draw a couple cards, dump a card, Squamata's effect, send Wendy effect, set a card. I'm gonna activate pretty sure I activate Super Poly here. Pitch use his construct. Use his UC to make another construct. Get Aerial off of the Hedgehog, set another card, and then play priority another Super Poly because he didn't pank. Summon Sheshanaga, attack everything for game. So we take game 2. All right, so game 3, we're gonna be playing against Invoke Dogmaticas, right? Another main meta deck. And we start when RPS we set, and then set 2. We actually got a game 1 loss because we came late, so we're actually playing starting it off with 0-1, believe it or not. But we're gonna see me here try to reverse sweep, activate Sinister Shadow Game. I'm going to banish his Alistair, just so that even though he added Invocation, he won't be able to invoke afterwards unless he hard drew double Alistair, or a second Alistair. He's going to go drop it there, pitch his Invocations, just so he can shuffle back some cards. He's going to go Ecclesia effect, add Punishment, and yeah. Activate also. He also drew the Deer Servant, which is like the stones, but we're going to see me here. He's going to send Intis to pop the back row. I'm going to change Super Poly with his, which is Ecclesia, and then summon my Construct. And then I'm going to use Construct's effect, and I'm going to send a Squamata, and then use Squamata's effect to pretty much send a Reshadal. Just so that I continue loop my resources. I only have 1 card in hand. I draw another card, activate Shaddoll Fusion because he has Secured Gardener. And then he's going to chain Droplet just so that Shaddoll Fusion would not resolve, which was like, okay, sure. I'm forced to resolve it. And then I'm going to use Construct Effect to add back the Rush from my graveyard to my hand. I'm going to attack him for 2200. But he's going to summon Fluidly in main phase, so I can't attack. I'm going to set Rush and then pass my turn. And then, yeah, from here, he's going to go switch Fluidly to attack modes, normal summon Alistair. Go to battle phase, and then from there I activate Resh, Construct, and then Construct effect. He's going to Imperm the Construct. I was so confused why he was playing Imperm in 2021 when Imperm is terrible against all the decks, but I think he said that he was playing Imperm because that's all he had. I add back Shaddoll Fusion, and he's going to summon Auguries here. Not sure why, but then he pops my Construct, so I add back both Shaddoll Fusion and Reshadal. So I'm going to Shaddoll Fusion, and he has Ash Blossom, so that was a good tell. That makes a lot of sense. He's going to add back to another Invocation. From here, I'm going to activate Resh. I'm going to use Resh effect to summon back Construct, then use Construct effect. He's going to chain Auguries to pop it. I was like, sure, that's fine. I'm going to send Aerial and use Aerial to banish my own light monsters and his light monsters so he cannot make Mechaba. So I try to 5-head there. He's going to activate that anyways to make another Mechaba because he has a light monster in his hand, which is Gamma. So it's saved by the bell, I guess. He's going to attack Hedgehog, and I'm going to use Hedgehog effect in damage step to force him to actually discard the Alistair. But I think he kind of fell for my bluff because I have Shaddoll Fusion in my hand that I added back. So being able to every turn use Shaddoll Fusion is so broken, and that's the nice recursion of Shaddolls. You have to manage your resources really well, and if you do, like, it allows you to win a lot of games that you don't even think you can win. So you're going to see me right here use a bunch of Chainlink, summon App Clone, and use App Clone to negate the Mechaba. He's going to chain the punishment targeting the App Clone. Then I'm going to resolve all my effects and then resolve App Clone's effect. I'm going to use App Clone's effect to... actually, a really cool play is you can add Core, then dump Core, then use Core effect to add any Shaddoll spell trap in the graveyard. So that's exactly what I did. Add back another Rush. I still normal summon Curry Bandit. I mill 5, and I hit a Phyllis and a Super Poly, so I passed on that. And now... we're going to see the craziest ruling that took us like 20 minutes, I think, maybe 15 to 20 minutes that we had to wait for. But basically, here's what's happened. My opponent is turn player, and I activate Reshadal to bring back my App Clone. Because my opponent is turn player, my opponent... two trigger effects were met simultaneously. Auguries being summoned and App Clone being summoned. Because he is turn player, he has to use his his Auguries as Chainlink 1 or miss that opportunity to use it, and then I get to be Chainlink 2. But you know, my opponent wasn't really sure in that, and then the first judge ruled it that my App Clone would have to be Chainlink 1, and then he can be Chainlink 2 Auguries. But I appealed it, and the head judge ruled it in my favor. And they both looked at it even after the tournament, and they both confirmed that is the correct way it should be ruled. But this is the type of like technical play and understanding of rulings that you need to have when playing a deck like Shaddolls, because these interactions might come up. So my opponent goes basically, let me explain that again for those of you who might not understand it. My opponent goes, has to be Chainlink 1 Auguries and Chainlink 2 App Clone. I even asked him after I summoned the App Clone, do you want to use anything? The reason why this will actually save me from dying is because App Clone cannot be destroyed by battle, and if I negate Auguries, his Mechaba is permanently negated, his Augury is permanently negated, right? So he cannot attack into the Mechaba in order to like beat it. So this line of play allows me to essentially outplay my opponent and then win out on this interaction here by negating his Auguries either as Chainlink 2, so his Auguries cannot pop mine, and then using my even if he doesn't use Auguries, I'll still negate Auguries. So because of that, I'm gonna win out on this interaction here and then forge a comeback. Keep in mind this is still game 1, and I was down one game already. So because of the game loss, because I was late, because I was hanging out with chat. So I mean, my fault at the end of the day. But we gotta play from two sides. First, I'm playing a $30 deck, and then second, I already started off with a game 1 loss. But heart of the cards. Trust your deck, trust your judgment, and we might turn out okay. And so, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. The judges are coming in. They're still deciding, talking about it. I explained to them the other interaction that's really important is very similar. It's actually the exact same. Is if your turn player and your opponent activates Multi-Faker on your turn and you have a Ghost Burner in hand, your Ghost Burner has to be Chainlink 1. It actually cannot be Chainlink 2. So you see here that Mizuru, my favorite, he passed turn activates Shadow Fusion. He makes BLS, but I'm going to send Chaos, and Chaos effect is actually going to dump a Shadow monster from my hand, which buffs all my monsters up by 400 attack, which allows me to actually beat over the BLS. So you're going to see me do exactly that. I'm going to go Construct Attack. He's going to take 200 damage, attack for 18, 22, El Shaddai, or Super Poly into the Construct, then add back L from the grave to the hand, attack with Construct, and then I still have L to finish the game up. So we take game 1 there, and now, or game 2 technically, now we're going to head into game 3. So pretty good overall. That ruling literally won me the game, but it was the correct, that's how it should be ruled. So I didn't really feel bad about it at all. But, we live and we learn. And this is what I'm talking about, man. Technical play, really knowing your deck, understanding what your deck is capable of, outing a BLS, even though, theoretically I should have no outs in my deck, right? It's still very possible with Chaos. So these are the type of stuff that you need to, really, really hard think about, and really understand. My opponent desires and sets 2. I go normal summon Mathman. He's going to impermit. I attack him for 15. We have a 13-minute time extension, as you can see there. That's why... time was not called yet. So I actually accidentally activate El Shaddai in the same imperm column, and this was caught by my opponent. And then, but when I checked the VOD, so you're gonna see me here right here. Go check the VOD. I was kind of confused because here's what happened. Basically, I have to orientate his screen on my OBS so that it looks right for me, but when I see it, it's actually not in the same column for me. So I missed that column completely. I should have just activated in the far left or the far right, instead of the under the EMZ. That was my fault. Doesn't matter. I mean, I'll just keep playing. I was okay, that's my fault. I'll Shadow Fusion, summon Wendy still. So I was kind of saved there. But yeah. So anyways, he's gonna activate Fleur de Lis. I activate Sinister Game. He's gonna Ash it. And so he's going to attack over the window, and then I'm going to use Window's effect to add back the El Shaddai back to my hand. I'm going to draw for turn. I'm going to essentially flip Squamata, pop his Fleur de Lis. I'm going to normal summon another Squamata. I'm going to attack for 18, attack for 18 again, attack for 15, and then activate L. I'm going to make Sheshinaga to go for game here, because it's at 2600, but he's going to actually drop it, so he only takes 1300 because it halves the attack. I'm going to make the Shaddai Construct Link monster, use its effect to fusion summon. Make Construct, add back El Shaddai from the graveyard. Use the effect to send Construct to the graveyard and add back Resh. He's going to Nibiru me. I was sure, that's fine. From there, I'm going to... I have a light monster, so I was okay, that doesn't matter. He's going to get Alistair here. It's going to go normal Alistair, no effect, because I think he banished all of his invocation. I'm going to activate Reshadal, bring back Construct, and I'm going to banish the light monsters in my graveyard, and then banish the light monsters in my opponent's graveyard, just so that he cannot invocation into a light monster, except using his Nibiru on the field. He's gonna tactics, draw 2 more cards. My opponent scoops afterwards, and we're gonna go to game 3 after finding out that he has like no win condition. All right, guys. So now we're in round 4. Basically the last round. We're currently 2-1. All right, our only loss was the Dice round. So if we win, we will top our first week with a $30 structure deck. He's gonna go activate Red Eyes Fusion, and I was like, sure. But then to his surprise, he's actually gonna get met with a Super Poly, which allows me to out his Dragoon, summoning the Winda using Wendy's effect to set a monster. And yeah, that was pretty good. I put a dice to let it know to cut my deck. Draw a card, flip beast, use its effect to draw 2. Discard 1. I'm going to try to figure out how to game him here. So, but I think I wanted to play conservative, but I was like still thinking about it. But basically, I'm going to send Hedgehog, use Hedgehog's effect to add. I'm going to add the Squamata. I'm going to go normal summon Squamata, attack, attack, attack. He's going to take a lot of damage, activate Super Poly on my own card, which is kind of risky. But that was enough to seal the deal and win game 1 for me. So I drew double Super Poly, and that was pretty much game. So outing Dragoon was kind of nice. And now we're going to go into the side deck. My opponent, I think, brick, because he said that he was playing Light Sworns. But he only drew like Red Eyes Fusion. And we'll see that in this game again, he's also going to he's going to opt to go first. He's also going to activate Red Eyes Fusion again. And I was just like, my God, man, another Dragoon. But of course, we got the heart of the cards. And I did have a Super Poly in my hand, but I actually don't opt to use it right away. I activate L first because I have Shadow Fusion. So I wanted him to like at least negate it first or something. Because I want him to negate L, then activate Shadow Fusion, and then Super Poly him, which he's gonna negate here. I saw that he pitched Somali, so I thought he was on a PK deck, like a PK warrior or like some sort of like warrior deck that like summons out Dragoon, because he did dump a malicious. Then I'm gonna do a really cool technical play, which is I actually dump another Shadow Fusion and then activate the Shadow Fusion again. And the way I did this, or sorry, I basically set the Hedgehog and then flipped the Hedgehog up with Red Shadow to add another Shadow Fusion. So even though Shadow Fusion was negated, I was still able to get Shadow Fusion back. But he's gonna scoop and concede here because he realized that he cannot beat the Winda. Yo, guys, so, we actually did it. We topped our first locals with 3 structure decks. Dude, I'm telling you, 3 structure decks. Yes, everything you see here is made from 3 structure decks from $30. So, the craziest thing about all of this is that, you have to, like, really know the deck you're playing. Like, it's not, like I said, man, there's a lot of, like, technical play you need to have when you play a deck from behind. What I mean by that is when you're constrained on a budget, the way you can supplement that is you can use your understanding of the game, use your understanding of the cards and how they interact and all that good stuff to essentially like win games that you shouldn't theoretically win because you're not playing the best cards, etc., right? But you guys will see in the VOD and as well as in the clips to come that and my matchups. So hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, man, I hope this inspires you guys, and hopefully you guys come back for the second week where we will now get $10 to upgrade our deck. Also, guys, there are some goals with this deck. So what is the end game of the series? So a lot of people have been asking me. So there's a couple of milestones and goals I want to hit. First is top of locals, which we kind of did on week 1, which is kind of poggers. Step 2 was to win a locals. Step 3 is to win a Winamat at Extravaganza, and step 4 is to top a Winamat, right? Or not top a Winamat, top the Extravaganza, which is the, I guess, premier event for remote duels at this moment in time, right? The only thing we have to measure to measure how well you can do with the deck. So those are the goals and the milestones I have set for myself with this deck, and the idea is that we want to upgrade this deck with $10 and then see how far we can take this deck to the next level. So I'm really excited to see you guys on this journey and this journey with me. I think this is gonna be very exciting. Like I said, the goal of this is to inspire you guys to realize that even with a budget deck, you can still do well within the metagame and clap every meta deck. So hope you guys get inspired, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.